What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our day trade room / market Monday. It's good to have everybody here with us. All right. Today, we are going to kind of focus on day trading and swing trading. We'll do both of them this morning because of our combined room. So we'll rock and roll on that front. Couple things. We do have new futures rollover contracts. So we are using June contracts this morning. You should have got an automatic update if you're using like NinjaTrader, Apex, something like that. If not, just heads up that that's happening. All right, let's look at the ES. So we're going to go through the day trade setup type ideas first, and then as we're waiting for setups, we'll also look for ES. ES 15 minutes rocking and rolling here. Trying to come back up. Let's remove a lot of these levels. Ended the week last week near the lows on the actual SPX. So the question is, will we get a bounce up today? That's kind of the big question. So we've got this move up into, let's move this guy here. That I'm going to make that guy, this blue guy, I'm going to make it red. That's going to be my daily target to the upside. I think we try to go take that high out from Thursday. We're reversing up off this inverted hammer from Friday, which is a big deal. If we hold and break up here, I want to see this move up into 67.60, 67.69. If we roll over, I want to be mindful of 67.19 and 6,700. And we may go retest that gap. But right now, bulls are in control. Nice pullback, good rally up. We've got this inverted hammer Harami. This could break down. If this breaks higher, right here, if that breaks up, that is a bullish signal. So let's watch that. Let's jump over here to our flex grid where we're watching futures. I do like this hold off the 5. Is that 4 points? To make 3.25 and 7. I do like that hold. We got teed up here. I'm gonna go calls. 616 calls are teed up. 62s. We're trading at 68. So we're gonna need to make these about 67s. On the strike price. In queue, we got 35 seconds left to a market open. Same. Trying to come up into this. I'm going to leave that blue just for time's sake. Buyers are going to try to push this thing higher into 24,949. Really 25,000 is going to be our big target. See how it plays out. Want to break that high to go long. Let's see if we get it. Let's see if we get it. Typically, I like waiting at least that first 5 minutes of the trading day. If you don't have it out, go ahead and get your journal out. Say how you feel. I feel good. Had a great morning. Got some good rest this weekend from our travels down into Florida. And we're kicking off a new boot camp this week. I say I got rest. We did a lot of housework to sell the house here in Georgia. But we are going to be building a giant building. Said giant building is going to have a good office in it. And yeah, I think they sent some emails out, Ryan. I'm pretty sure they did. I don't know. My goal is to have a huge office so that whenever we reoffer mentorship, part of that mentorship can be flying people people can fly in and actually sit with us, trade, be in an office together, engage, and hang out. All right, we got a double engulfing on the ES 1530. Engulfing off the ES 15 minute, that's a nice bullish signal. Engulfing off the 30 minute, that's a nice bullish signal. I would like to see this close here, open, and rally. So what I want to do here is see this close, even if it's a 1 minute, pull back, and then pop. We get through 67.50, 75. I want to go take out this overnight session and take out 67.60. I like that. Let's see how this plays out. Same setup off the NQ, engulfing on the 15 and the 30. Can we go engulfing? Yeah, we can go engulfing on the 1 hour too. Cool, man. Trying to go engulfing on the NQ 1 hour. Trying to go engulfing on the NQ 1 hour. Bitcoin starting to turn. I like that a lot. That looks good. We'll look at that in just a minute for a couple swing trades. While we wait, I sip my potion. If you're tuning in to the trading room via YouTube, we appreciate you. Did not get to post my teaching video last week. I didn't get to enough time to edit it. I'm actually going to use one of the day trade videos we had last week. That was so good. We also had some people posting that they had passed some Apex evals, got some PA accounts, funded accounts, so they can actually start pulling some money out, making money on those. I love seeing that. Well done. All right, we're going to hang out here. I want to see what this first 5 minute candle does. We'll come back to it. S&P, you can see this turn, right? You guys see that turn? If we take out this week's lows, which I imagine we're probably going to try to do, we take out this low, that opens the door to go to 66.02, 65.55, and then the quarterly engulfing 65.21. The goal for the engulfing is to hit that by the 31st. Okay, so we have 2 weeks to get down here. And if you look at the ranges on the day here, we got plenty of time. I mean, if you just look at our daily range, this is 109 points, 70 points, 65 points, and that doesn't include the gap, 85 points. This was a huge day. I mean, it's 175 points. And so I would not be shocked to see us rally a little bit, hold maybe this 67.20, maybe this gap fill at 67.40, and then roll over and drop into the end of the month, kind of down into that 65.21. That won't shock me. Bitcoin, I do like this. Trying to get this transition up. Here's your move. Pull back, double harami off that daily. Pop Friday, but we pulled back. Now we're coming through this area. This breaks the 74. That's your weekly break. This is a continuation off the week. We should get into 77, 730. We're going to look at some entries on that. And then we've got this push up here on the monthly. You can see resistance, support, come all the way over right there at it. So if we can close, 77, 730 on the month and break higher, I think we at least fill that gap. Ethereum's looking pretty decent here too. Big support at 1827. Big channeling support here. Nice bounce off that monthly. Good continuation move here off that weekly. Good continuation move off the daily. A retest of 2380, pull back and rally. I'm looking for that gap fill. Same on Ripple. Good break. We're watching this 150 area with high levels of interest. Move up, pull back, and rally. Looking for that move into 173. Fortinet, we stopped this one out. This is fine. We stopped this out Friday. I didn't know if we opened and dropped or continued to rally. We stopped that out. IGV, we pulled back. This stopped us out as well. We're still looking for this transition here. So that is in play. Everything else We're just kind of holding off on wanting to see what it's going to do in support. We were looking at some shorts last week, if you'll remember. Silver getting a little bit of a bounce here. Let's jump back over here. Potential doji sandwich off this 1 minute. We're breaking up through this range, hanging out at 67.50. SPX is hanging out at 66.98. Potential 2.25 doji sandwich. This would be a scalp trade if you want to take it. That's what we're looking for here. I do like that. As long as that holds. I do like that. Let's see if we get that fill. If this breaks the downside, we'll cancel it. Double Rami up, though. We're going to look to take this long. Small size. I'm not going crazy here. All right, we'll cancel that order. Cancel the order. We broke to the downside. No trigger, no trade. All right, cancel your orders out. No trigger, no trade. We wanted to see the continuation move. We didn't get the continuation move. Let's see what happens here. In the meantime, can't trade this on my wealth charts for some reason. Give me 1 second. We're in June, March, April, May, June. Had no problem over here. Interesting. Says I can't trade that. All right. I'm gonna have to go back to March, which they're still kind of tracking together. Still kind of tracking together here. About to get another 5-minute close. There's your 5 minute. This is 6-point risk here for a continuation move up into 660. What I'd like would be like a 5-minute Harami, then a break higher. I like that we're over the 67.50 area as well. If this holds as a continuation move off this 1 minute, I will look to take this long. I'm going to take this small size. My futures are acting weird, so I don't trust those at the moment. So I'm going to wait for this 1 minute to close. If this closes hammer Harami, I will look to take this higher. What I'd really like would be this 5 minute to close. There's your break up. All right, so no, I'm not in this trade yet. I wanted this 1 minute to close. This is also going to be about a 4.75 risk here. NQ just went engulfing. It's pulling back a little bit. And that's going to run without us. That's okay. Not in this trade yet. Still waiting. And it doesn't look like the volume's too crazy. It just wouldn't let me put the order in, which is nuts. Had no problem on my NinjaTrader account. Had loads of problems on my other. NQ with a nice little pullback, by the way. Let's see what this NQ does here. It looks a little bit more bearish than it does bullish. Looks like we're trying to get a transition. So if you look at this 5 minute, here's that pullback into the 21 pop. Looks like we're pulling back into that 21. I want to see this 24.9 hold. ES looks fantastic. Here's that move up over this shelf of support this shelf of resistance, now using it as support. What I wanted to do is take that move higher. I couldn't get that order to fill though. Want to do the same thing here on the NQ. If this holds with a hammer off the NQ, this is a 26.5 risk. You could actually look to take that up into 23.25 plus. The goal here is going to be to get into that 24.9. That takes out that same high of day that we're looking at on the S&P. We're just not getting the follow through on the NQ like we are the ES. So we could take that. If it's showing the 67.05, Howie, that's because you haven't rolled over to the June contracts. That's what my wealth charts are showing here. So this is my wealth charts. It's showing that same thing right here, 67.05. It will not let me trade those Junes. I don't know why. All right, what I want to do here, though, is I want to go ahead and tee up these Qs just in case. So let's jump to trade. Let's put in our Qs. Because if I can get this 5 minute trigger off the Qs, I will look to take that as well. I'm going to go into March. I want to go to the, ooh, this big open interest right there. We may close at 600. Let's go into these 5.98s. We'll paste these in. Go here. I'm going to throw the NQs up right here so you can see them. That's your NQ chart. And I'll change out the ES chart on my other system so we can watch them. ES did exactly what we wanted to. It went from 50 to 60 right here. Just wasn't able to capitalize off that move. That was 2.75 and then ripped higher. All right. In the meantime, let's keep going over here. Boot camp weeks are crazy because we're bouncing back and forth. Good job, Ryan. We're bouncing back and forth between futures and swing trading, day trading and swing trading. Fresh 15 minute coming in. ES continuing to pound higher. This looks awesome on the ES. ES looks solid here. NQ is going to try to give a pullback and move higher as well. What do we have right here? 13% risk off this option. That is not bad. There's that continuation move on both. Any pullback at this point, you're looking to take that long. Trying to get into 67, 69 on the ES futures. Sideways action, break up. Double Harami, break up. This looks awesome off the 1 minute for scalps. 5 minute, don't really have too much of an entry here. You just got bulls running. This is your ES5. Bulls pushing. I wanted this to hold a little bit better off that 90-35 and then go. It's just not happening. Here's your push up off that QQQ. I don't know if anybody took this QQQ trade or not. If you did, good job. If you didn't, that's fine too. Still trying to get into 67, 69, 50 on the ES. We are right there at it. Still trying to get into 24.950 on the NQ. Not there yet. Not there yet. I'm not going to jump off the screen yet. Good trade, Ron. We could look at taking this continuation move. It's tough. There's your target off the NQ. Buyer's just cranking this morning. Good job holding that runner. Move your stop up if you're holding that runner. You just took out a big target. Good job, Ron. Nice 1 minute doji sandwich on the NQ. Try to do the same thing here on the ES. Move that stop up, let it go. About to hit that 24,949. After that, the next goal is going to be 25,000 round number. If you took the option on the Qs, I wasn't over there fast enough. That's up 13%. Anybody take that option? You took it on the NQ. Good job, Larkins. There's your pullback. That should stop you out, Ryan. How much did you get on that, buddy? 220. 220 bones in 20 minutes ain't bad, dude. Do that every day. It's $53,000 a year in 20 minutes worth of work. Ain't shabby. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. There's your pullback. This should stop you out on the option right here. If you took that option, boom, you should be stopped out. Good trade if you took that. Well done, well done. I'm going to jump back over to SPY. Not a huge QQQ fan to trade, but it works. The exact targets we were looking for. Notice this gets hit. I mean, look at this. Right on up to it. We're literally 1 point away. Great trade there. If we jump over here to the ES, broke it to the tick, like broke it by 1 tick and failed. Like that's just perfect. That's perfect right here. Boom. There's your failure. Buyers getting it done this morning. Question is that what they want to do? And now they roll over and drop. That's the question. All right. So let's see what happens here. You're going to have a lot of stocks that are starting to bounce in this zone of support. The question is, do we trust it enough for those bounces to keep going, right? Like we've got Serve Robotics here. It's at this 920. Earnings pop this on up into 1131 like we were talking about. We're dropped back down. There is no trigger, not yet. Trying to get a trigger on this. NVIDIA, we had talked about potentially getting a short position there. We wanted to wait through the weekend, see where we're at. I like this wait here, to be honest with you. And the reason I really like this wait is we've popped back up. Now, look at this 30-minute, right? So here's that trigger. This is where we were looking at it. It did kind of float on down. I said, hey, let's wait till Monday, see what happens. Here's your move back up. You're back into this resistance. If this drops again, which it easily could do, if this drops again, we have an easy short stop loss here, about 187.50, looking for that drop down into 175. Google's the exact same way, right? We were looking at potentially shorting this 311. We were waiting on that trigger. Here's this move back up. If this holds and fails again, we're in great shape. I'm very cautious when we start trying to short stocks, especially strong stocks. Trade desk, this is a great example of why we don't buy and hold forever. But I do like this potential transition. Here's this move up, pullback. We've got this 26.35 support. You're getting a good pop up today. Trying to give us that 30-minute trigger. This could be a trade entry by the end of the day. And if you look at this, you're like, dude, why would you short that? Or why would you go long that? Because you're in giant support. But check this out. This is a stock, buy and hold forever, right? You're down 85%. You want to buy and hold forever? Okay, cool. You're down 85% high to low here. And now we're starting to get this transition off the daily chart in this giant area of quarterly support, monthly support. Potential weekly transition. If we break this weekly high, that jumps us up into 32.90 as our target. So I like that weekly Harami here. I want to see if this can hold. I'll move this up so we can look at it at the end of the day. A lot of pharmaceutical companies pulling back into support too. So a lot of these guys have just gotten smoked since COVID 2021. All right. Pfizer's down 66%. Nice monthly Harami, potential hammer forming up. Weekly Harami forming up. If we can break over this 27, I like that back into 29, possibly 30. Want to get that over that 27, 27 though. Nice little uptrend here on the daily. Same with Moderna. Really pretty uptrend. This thing's gotten smoked. And look at this. All-time highs. You're down 95%. That's crazy. From what is this? 2020, what year is this? 2024. We're down 85%. So if we look at this from a monthly standpoint, we could just walk up these monthly charts as price targets. Here's this monthly Harami. You're breaking higher here. Here's this weekly. There's your drop. Transition, right? Move up, pull back, transition, pull back into this high, hold and rally. Speaking of, we're trying to get this 5-minute here. This looks nice off this hammer. I'm going to take that long. That's 5.5 to make 5.5 on a break of this 5-minute hammer. 5.5 risk, though. You've already hit your targets. You may want to back that out. I am going to take that long on a continuation break. So we can get filled. When's our news, Larkins?
10 a.m. We have NAHB housing index, I think. It's a yellow folder.
All right. Break higher, looking to get long. That's what we're looking at right here. We want to go retest this high. %7 risk off the option. That's not bad. I want to wait for the 5-minute break. If it breaks down, we cancel the order. Cancel the order. Cancel the order. Then we'll watch it to see if this holds. If this hammer holds and we break higher, I'll look to take that. I do have an inverted hammer here off the 15-minute, though. We'll wait to see if this holds. Give us a couple minutes. I'll come back and look at it. Moderna, same situation. You can see this weekly chart, good move up. This one, I wouldn't mind pulling back into 46.80. Get this pull back into 46.85 and then kick off. It doesn't look terrible. Again, Merck, let's hit the list. Nice hold at 114, or call it 115. Really nice hold here of the 115. There's an engulfing off that 5 minutes, already trying to get back into a 1-to-1. See if we get a pullback off the 1 minute. Not in this, but by George, it's working. There's your 1-to-1 off the option. If you took the engulfing, I'd not. And you want to break this high, that's your target. Great hold here on Merck on the weekly. Honestly, this is one of the stronger pharmaceuticals that are out there. Eli Lilly's the industry leader. This is not bad, though. Especially with all-time highs higher. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Move up, pull back. Let's see how this weekly chart holds. We break this 118. This is a long move. 3.6 risk. Come up and make 6, 12, 14. I like that a whole lot. That's our setup. Need a trigger. But if we can break that level, you're looking at 3.5 to come up and make 6. That's a fantastic. That's to your first target, by the way. That looks great. Let's move this up. Let's analyze this rascal. All targets hit, by the way. I missed this one. My bad here, team. 1 to 3. 1 to 2 getting hit. 6 points, you're up 8.5. 8%, you're up 17. Anybody take this one? You got it, Karen. Good job. Anybody else grab that one? Off the engulfing. Well done. Good job, Jim. An engulfing trigger is a valid trigger. You just have to be able to see it and recognize it. Flipping back and forth for me with swing trading makes it just a little more difficult. Ooh, it's also expiration week. That's fun. Let's get into April. The spreads are terrible. Credit spread's terrible going out to April. Let's go to May. That's going to be awful. Your bid-ask spreads on these are awful. If we do a 110 by 125, this isn't as bad. One 10 by 125 here is not as bad. I want to analyze that. See that up. Go out to May and look at some calls. It's a big spread on your calls. If we're doing in the money. This is a very wide spread here on your credit spread. If you're going to try to do an option here on Merc, what I would look to do is very much try to work into the spreads. So here with this credit spread, this is 215 by 280, which means you've got another 60 cents, 70 cents on the backside of this. So I would at least work this at like 305, something like that, maybe a little bit more. Or you can just buy the shares. Kratos, love that name, dude. God of War. Kratos. If you're a gamer nerd. Good hold, good weekly trend, very nice weekly trend, good support. A break over 91, I like that back to revisit 100. I would want to see this hold up. Its market is strong, dude. Strong, strong, strong. Good move up. Let's see if we keep this thing going. Could jump this up into like 669 if you wanted to. 668 if that's a little too much risk for you. On that Harami, I mean, it's 15% roughly. We're in session highs. We want to see if this thing can keep pumping. You take trades till they're no longer valid. You trade the trend until the trend fails. So if you're like, oh, can I trust this? Can I trust this? Until you have reason to not trust it, then you trust the trend. Coke giving a good pop. Now, this is coming off all-time highs, which is a good sign. You're breaking that weekly chart higher. I'd like to see how this closes. This is nice, though. Let's see how this one closes. Good pullback into 76. If we can close here, I may go ahead and leg into this one. 2.4 risk to come up and make 4 to 5%, going back into that all-time high. Costco ain't bad here, trying to revisit as well. Good breakout of this weekly / monthly downtrend look. Good push, pullback, transition, pullback, trying to transition once again. Let's see if we can't go revisit those highs. This is really expensive, which is one reason I like BJ. It's not as expensive. It's going to follow a similar pattern. Be careful with your oil companies. Shop looking for that transition here. AVGO does not look great. Shake Shack potential channel. No trigger. I don't know if these options are any good now. Oh, these options are terrible. Go to May, see if they're any better. April, June. Not. This would be a share idea, but let's watch this for a channel. Apple, good hold here, 252. This does not look good, right? We had talked about a potential short here and it just dropped on whatever day that was, kind of moving back into that resistance. I want to see, does this move back up and fail again, or do we just drop? There is nothing saying that this market doesn't have something happen and get that flush tomorrow. And if that happens, that doji sandwich is down. A lot of these tech names I'm just kind of looking at as like a dead cat bounce, and they're not really moving that well. Nuclear continuing to fail. I do like Deckers here. Deckers has great potential support here at 100. Look at that off the weekly, man. This held how long last year? I mean, essentially from April, 189 days, this held a support, and we're back into it. If this can hold, I like this move back into 110, 119. Typically, we at least get to 110, right? Here's the move. There's your bounce into 110. Pull back. That might have stopped you out. There's your move up. Pull back, move up. Got back above that area, almost 110. We need a trigger here, though. Trying to work one today. This would be a very low risk. I mean, you're looking at 3% to come up and potentially make 8 to 16. Add this to your list. I think this has good options. May does not. April does not. These options are trash, in the words of Mario. If you have children, you'll get that reference. AIG back in bigger channeling support. Let's get a trigger here. Look at that support potential hold. Now, yes, this moved up, but it also moved down. Oftentimes, what you'll see are offsetting moves, like this continuation push up. That'll get offset by continuation move lower right here. You do want to watch that, right? You do want to watch that, but I look at these and say, hey, can I trust the overall pattern at this 76 area? Again, it's a game of risk, rewards, and probability. So this is a 2% ish risk to come up and make 5 to 7. I mean, that's a fantastic risk reward. They have earnings. I don't mind Oak. OKE. It's an old company with earnings. This is a U.S. metals company. We've got earnings this week. I'll avoid that. I like block back down to the 60. Let's see if we hold here. This gap open. We made some great money on this the last couple of years. Let's see if this holds that $60 and turns back up here. ServiceNow trying to give us a transition down here in support. I don't mind this either. This is one of those expanded tech companies that's just gotten smoked. This would be looking for that transition. This is kind of like Fortinet, right? This one was a little bit more of a channel type look. What we get to IGV. Look at IGV, right? Got hit. We took that entry on IGV into that first target. Here's your pullback. That is this is the expanded tech industry. So it makes sense that a lot of the expanded tech, like a ServiceNow, is also in that same situation. There's your move up, pullback, trying to use this downtrend as support. But here's your transition. We haven't filled that gap yet. Trying to get a trigger here. So it'd be about a 5% to make 8, 10, 14. I'll add this to our end of day list. Market continuing to pump. Going for 25,000 on the NQ. We're going to try to go break high of day on the S&P for Friday. That's the goal. 67.33. You got, what is that? 10 points, 13 points to go grab it. Maybe you go to 21 from there. Get a little 100-point bounce day here. Great 30-minute move up. Looking to see if we get more here. Personally, I've been slow on the jump. I liked this. I missed the engulfing for the follow through. That looked really good. And then this guy, I think, moved without me. But I did take that Q trade. Called that one out. Called that one out. All right. Now, Aurora Innovation. Somebody threw this one out. The Aurora Innovation. I'm going to see if we can't get that back into 387 for a channel. I like that. IoT here. I really like this push up from earnings and this hold. I want to get a trigger here. We don't have one yet. Like, this is crazy tight. Crazy, crazy tight. If we could get this trigger, let's call it whatever this high is. You're only looking at 4% to come up and make 8 plus. Again, great 1 to 2 risk reward ratio here. And then Kava with this break higher. I want to see this pullback here and try to come up into 93. I really like Kava as a company, and their food's phenomenal. All right. Do y'all have anything you want to look at real quick? Any stocks that were on your list that you're like, hey, Mark, can you go check this one out for me? That would be great, etc. I'm going to change this up really quickly. Just want to move these up. Want to move those up higher on my list so I can just check them out. Nobody? Okay. All right. Let's look at Bitcoin. I do like Bitcoin. I want to trade that with iBit. Here's your daily transition. Let's see if we can get that continuation move higher here. Again, we would trade this off of BTC. There's your continuation. Look at this continuation too. Boom, pullback, boom. This is a transition on the 1 minute. Ideally, we get into that 77, 730, pull back, and then that's the better, in my opinion, that would be the better entry. We'll see. Looks like we're getting tired up here. That is a potential doji sandwich off the 15 to continue higher. Easy target of 69, 67, 69 achieved, by the way. So that's the easy target. Now we want to come on up into these other levels. Let me do this. Activate. And then we have almost a perfect doji off that NQ. So very similar setups here. 3.25 risk off that 1 to come up to make 2.75 and 5. NQ, same setup off that 1 minute. I just got that for 10 off the NQ. See if it gives that set up again. I'd like a 5-minute setup here. I mean, there's been opportunities to make money, no doubt. And some people like Ryan and Karen, Richard, Jim, some of the guys have made money on that. Here's that doji sandwich up for the continuation move for sure. We've had a couple of 1-minute scalps here. You know, if you took this off the option, that made you money. If you took the QQQ, that made you money. Right. So there's definitely been some setups here in the day trading room. It's just hard. Again, it's hard if you're looking at this like, dude, I'm confused. We're swapping back and forth from day trading to swing trading. I can't follow that. That's tough for me. I get that. That's part of it. When we do that, things move really quickly. So if that's confusing you, if you're like, hey, I'm not a huge fan of this, then just focus on one thing. Focus on one thing. I know we got a lot of people in here today that aren't normally in the day trade room. That's okay. We got people in here that aren't normally in the swing trading room. That's okay. Just try to watch and pick up on each style to fit whatever your personality and goals are. That would be the easiest thing to do. All right. I do like this Bitcoin though. This would have been a great entry. This Harami break with a continuation move up. This would be, 3 to make 5. See if we can't get into that 9. What I'd really like to see here though, bigger picture, retest, pull back either to 74 or 71, and then take back off to this gap fill at 85, 88, 90, and see if we can't get that continuation move up here. This looks good though. Same on Ethereum. Really nice move on Ethereum here. Notice that we're coming into this gap fill, or this gap open, I should say. Here's your transition. Nice move up. Any pullback here, I'd be looking to take that long. And Ripple, very similar look. We've got to break 150 on Ripple. You've got to break this 150 on Ripple. Right now, this is about a 12% risk, which you could scale this if you wanted to. Like if this breaks today and you wanted to scale in, you could do that. You'd be looking for this move up into like 160, maybe a little higher to 163. So you're not quite getting that 1-to-1, but you're getting a breakout. Then when you pull back, if we pull back, that's the key. If we pull into 150 and rally up from here, that's what I'm looking for. Would be that look. So this move up, retest this gap open, pull back into 150, hold this breakout move, fill the gap, and then come back up to $2, which is a quarterly level. That would be ideal. What we may end up seeing here is a move into the gap fill, then pull back, and then rally. It just depends on how many people that are short here defend or get stopped. If shorts defend, it's going to come back down. If they get stopped, they'll take they'll have to cover. Buying begets buying. It pushes you up into 174. Then you get the pullback. But I like this. I have Ripple on here too. This is going to be the schedule for the whole week. Yes. This is going to be the schedule for the whole week. Trying to get this 5-minute setup here. And oftentimes, Richards, when we do this, we're still able to capitalize and make money. I wasn't 100% present on my day trades to make that this trade would have worked. And buyers are coming in very strong here. Let's see what crude's doing. Crude's pulling back a little bit. Told you all my conspiracy theory on crude. Coke, not a bad entry, and this is given a trigger. We'll watch this one. 2.75 again to come back up into 4. Shake Shack trying to trigger. Deckers wanting to trigger. AIG wanting to trigger. Transition there. Those are kind of my top. If we go back over to Big Megatech, maybe Apple holds and we push back up. Maybe. We push into this 258, 260. And this would be a nice trigger up tomorrow. But it's just a move back into resistance. Same thing on Amazon. I would rather short this under 2. Like if this holds under 211 and rolls back down, I would short that into 198. I know this is trying to give us this little uptrend. But if we come into 211 and break lower, I would look to take that down more than I would up. At 216 especially. NVIDIA, I would look short as long as this is under 186 by 189. You're just not seeing a lot of conviction from big tech here. Not seeing a lot of conviction on those. Financials getting that dead cat bounce. Financials look terrible. Banking looks terrible. Biotech's not bad. We talked about those. Transports look awful. Those are in downtrends. Retail's in bigger support. That could be worth a bounce for a couple days. And what we may see, guys, is just a bounce for 2 or 3 days. Scalp some swing trades till Wednesday, Thursday, see the market roll back down, and then take advantage of it. Home builders look rough. Real estate getting a little bounce off that zone of support, though. And then communications very sideways here. This is your Google, and I think this is Google and Meta more than anything. All right. This is what I'm going to be looking for today. I want to see if we can't get a potential position in Bitcoin. All right. I'll wait. I'm going to wait for the end of the day. I'll send out the DMU. I'll tell you what we're doing or what we're not doing. I will post those as well. Okay. So I'll post all this stuff as well. Any trades that we get into, they will be posted in the community page. All right. So keep an eye on those. Keep an eye on your emails for that. But I'm going to look for something in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. I'm not buying these yet, but I'm going to be watching these. As far as new trades go, Fortinet, if you're still in this one, you're coming up into that second target at 86. Well done. If you're still in it, I stopped this one out on Friday. Potential trades. I like Kratos. I want to see us break this $91, $92 area, essentially. You can see this thing is just capped here, right? Can't break it. Can't break it. If we break through, I want to see that move into 100, 108. That would be great. Merck, same situation here. Great hold at 113. What I don't like, these lows are getting taken out. So here's a low, almost a transition, but we're holding this 113. So to me, this is an easy stop. This 113 breaks, you're probably dropping into 109. If we can trigger up here, opens the door to come back up into 125. Coke holding your swing. This looks pretty decent for a move back up into 80, 82. I'd really like that into 82. 82.50 is a strong level here. Shake Shack, potential channel, need a 30-minute trigger. Decker Outdoor, potential channel, we need a 30-minute trigger. AIG, potential channel, once again, need the 30-minute trigger. We don't have one on any of these. Let's watch 80.50 here, though, as a hesitation point. Service now, potential transition off the daily. Here's that move up, just like XLV, or I'm sorry, IGV, just like the intra-group IGV. I really wanted that 118.50 to hold. That would have been nice. Trying to get a trigger here. Let's see how this one closes. This could be an entry, low risk. It's not super pretty. This is the attempt of the transition. The nice thing is you're risking 3 to come up and make like 9 to 10. So it's a 1 to 3. And if we get that gap fill here, you're looking at 1 to 4 risk reward ratio. So this looks really good. Everything else, I'm just kind of hanging out on. Trade Desk looks just like ServiceNow. Look at these. These are twins. Look at that. There's that last move up, drop, gap up, pullback, move. Boom. This looks to me a little bit better transition. I mean, they both look pretty good. Here's this gap up, you've pulled back. I mean, these are almost the same look in the same intra group. Applied Materials. Yes, Mr. LeFleur. I like, that's Applied Digital. Applied Materials. This it does not look bad. We haven't charted this one in a while. Let's see if this move at 340 holds. What I'd be looking for here, Mark, is my stop would be under that 333. Looking for this gap fill into 365, 370, and then a revisit of 395 here. Let's clean this up, though. I mean, you've had such a huge move. Three 320 is holding, which is a great area from your monthly. So if we're drawing our lines, this area at 320 is holding. That's really nice. You've got this hammer Harami. That looks good. Still looks crazy bullish, right? Big inverted hammer off the weekly. There's your drop. Took out these lows, but again, 320 holding up really nicely. Getting this pop higher. Weekly chart, I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful weekly trend, and we're trying to keep going on it. So you've got two options to trade this. Number one, if you try to take an entry here, using this 333 as a stop to limit your loss to only about 5%, or coming all the way down here, limiting your loss to about 10%. If you go to the 10%, you obviously want to get to all-time highs. If you go to this 5%, you could fill this gap. That's a 1-to-1. Take your profits. Take some profits here and move your stop loss back to even in case you pull back and then rally. But this is a good hold. This 341, this is a great hold, man. I like that a lot. You can see resistance, 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 gap up, and then you've held it again. That's not bad. That's not bad. Does that make sense? Video. I'd hold off on that. GEHC. This is not bad for a potential channel here at 70. Strong support. Very strong support here. I mean, this is giant monthly, probably quarterly support. $70 is a great area. Right now, you're trying to catch a falling knife off the weekly and off the daily. Maybe this bounces. I would like to see this hold for a day or two or reestablish the trend. Great zone of support, though. You're risking about 3.5 to make 5 to 9 if this worked. I would see if you get a trigger on it today. I'll add it to the list, though. It's a really nice zone of support. I would just wait to see how this closes. Market's rolling over strong here. Notice 30-minute, 15-minute Harami, inverted hammer Harami. Take out that low, drop. If we take this low out, if this comes all the way back down and we go engulfing off this 1 hour, that opens the door to get back to 67.06, 66.85. This gap right here is going to be your futures, your new futures gap. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But it may go fill that. It for sure may go fill that. So be careful here. Let's wait to the end of the day before we try to enter anything, see what we're being offered, and then we'll position ourselves accordingly from there. All right. Cool, team. I love you guys. Appreciate you being on. And if you're in the boot camp, I'll see you guys there. All right. Y'all have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll send out the DMU with any trades that we are looking at getting into or not. If you made money today, congratulations. Well done. I'm proud of you. Talk to you then.